My name is Laura Ingalls Wilder. I was born on February 7, 1867, to Charles and Caroline Ingalls in a log cabin near Pepin, Wisconsin. I'm the second of 5 children. My siblings are my older sister Mary, who became blind later in life, my sister Caroline, my brother Charles, who died as a baby, and my sister Grace. I moved around a lot when I was young, because my dad and mom were pioneers. They were looking for a new life. We started in Pepin, Wisconsin, in the big woods. And then we moved to Indian Territory in Independence, Kansas. Next, we moved to Walnut Grove, Minnesota, where Paul wanted to help his relatives with a hotel. And lastly, we lived in De Smet, South Dakota, where Paul worked on a railroad. The winters were really cold there. I spent most of my life growing up on the prairie, discovering new things every day. My famous quote was, "Home is the nicest word there is." Pa and Ma did the best they could for us, but we were poor. We went to a one-room schoolhouse where everyone learned together no matter how old they were. We used writing slates and lunch pails. I attended school until I was 15 years old, but I did not graduate. Then I became a teacher to help my sister Mary, that became blind from an illness, to attend a school for the blind. I taught 3 terms of school in a one-room schoolhouse. When I was 18 years old, I married Almanzo Wilder. We started a new life together in Mansfield, Missouri. Later, my husband became ill with diphtheria and was paralyzed. We had our first baby, Rose, in 1886. We also had a son who died at birth. This was a very hard time for Almanzo and me. During the 1930s, the Great Depression took place. This was a very hard time for our country. There were no jobs and very little happiness for American families. I decided to begin writing my heartfelt memories of childhood during this time. I was to become an author, which was very bold for a woman in that time. My very first manuscript was rejected. Not many editors thought writing books for children was a good idea. I didn't give up. I just kept on writing. And later, my first book was published. It was called Little House on the Big Woods. Later, I wrote 8 more series named Farmer Boy, The House on the Prairie, On the Banks of Plum Creek, By the Shores of Silver Lake, Little Town on the Prairie, The Long Winter, These Happy Golden Years, and the first 4 years. I guess people could call me an American pioneer. I was just an ordinary farmer woman who wanted the American dream. I was a teacher, a writer, and a pioneer. Many of my books were translated into 40 different languages and are still enjoyed today. My books talk of the cold winters on South Dakota farms, the times of sitting in front of the fire with Ma and Pa playing the fiddles, the days of fire in their life, and always going to church and believing in God to get us through our tough times. I lived to the age of 90 years old and attended and died on February 10th, 1957 in Mansfield, Missouri. My husband Almanzo died at 92 years old on the of 1949. I was just a great inspiring woman of my time in America.
What do you think?
Tall, playing